Tech. Okay, deck tech. Yeah. So let's run the Lurrus midrange deck back, and so okay, I decided to retire the other mono black decks. Originally, I was actually trying to jam the Obosh deck, but the Obosh deck just lacking Turok was just a real problem because it just kind of had struggled to really pull ahead, and just playing a companion these days just doesn't, like, alone doesn't quite really throw you ahead in the card advantage arena. It does a little bit, but if they're Turoking you and you don't have Turok, sometimes that can be a problem. And I mean, just other things. I mean, expressive iteration and all of these stuff, little 2-for-1s here and there, all over the place these days. But yeah, and also, like, I realize that there's a reason, I think, why this budget version, ironically, which like, there really isn't any card that I would probably want to play in the budget deck that we're not already playing anyway. So it's not really a budget deck. I mean, it is sort of, but it's not really. Um, yeah, like, there isn't. Yeah, like, what I realized is that this mana base is much better, and Cling to Dust is really valuable. Just, it's a cantrip; it can gain life when you need to. And that's very important with this Castle Locthwain. So, like, I just realized I really like Cling to Dust. It's also just an alternate card advantage engine. You can use it without losing a ton of life if you don't necessarily have, like, an empty hand. Um, and also just good to diversify. Sometimes they play, like, Alpine Moon or something on Castle Locthwain. Um, you know, they have to attack both the graveyard and your lands in order to be able to keep you off a card advantage engine. And it's also just nice that it complements the Castle Locthwain. So I think Cling to Dust, just, it's easy to underestimate just how good this is, but but I think there's a reason why the closest we've come to trophying so far has ironically been with the budget version, and I think it's the Cling to Dust in large part. But I have to say, I tried the companionless version, and I basically tried the same mana base. Basically, I just replaced Gatekeeper with Liliana, and Victim of Night with Murderous Rider. Yes, that meant I didn't have any Lurrus in the 75, and I just felt like against decks like Murktide, like, it was just too clunky with Lurrus, and, like, Cling to Dust, just basically kind of replacing Lurrus, was just kind of much better. And and also this main deck Lithiform Blight. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, if we're trying to juke Urza Saga, like, those I mean, I can't honestly tell you how many times Urza Saga, like, came down on the play. I was on the draw, and I couldn't stop Urza Saga from making, like, a huge Urza token. So it just kind of sucked that, Field of Ruin couldn't stop it on curve. Um, so, Lithiform Blight. I know this card looks janky as heck, even jankier than Field of Ruin, but I don't know. It does the job. It deals with Urza Saga. It also deals with Valakut and the Molten Pinnacle, or I don't know. It deals with, like, any difficult utility land that you have. It can also juke some Utopia Sprawled lands. I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just very surprising in its applications, and it ultimately just draws a card. So yeah, I mean, that was another development with the budget deck. So basically, what I ended up doing is just trying to also jam a non-budget version with Liliana and Murderous Rider. But, like, at the end of the day, I just feel like for example, Victim of Night costing 2 is just way better. Like, against for example, like Hammer Time. I mean, that's the difference between winning and losing easily, being able to hold up 2 mana for a 2 mana removal spell versus 3. Also being able to hold up to, like, and sometimes you're going to have to hold up something like a unconditional kill spell against Murktide, because so a lot of times they want to position themselves where they can play Murktide and back it up with a counterspell. Very rarely will they have enough mana to double counterspell. But, like, yeah, if you only have sorcery speed interaction, um, then they can, like, end of turn you try to go for a Victim of Night, then they counterspell, and then your turn you untap and Gatekeeper. Whereas, like, if you had, like, 2 Gatekeepers, you just wouldn't have the mana to be able to overwhelm their counter magic. And that was another problem with Murderous Rider. I mean, that was kind of the idea there, but it's just way harder to hold up 3 mana every turn than it is to hold up 2. Um, I mean, of course, the plus side is it's inherent card advantage. Murder Strider is. I mean, but just it's just expensive, and it's just really sweet that we get to play cheaper spells, and we're rewarded with a free companion. The only downside is that the control matchup gets worse because Liliana is a total house against control. Yeah, they have prismatic ending, but they won't always have it, and a lot of times you can really tax their hand while they're searching for it. So sometimes it's hard for them to come back, even if they eventually deal with a Liliana. So Liliana is like obviously a humongous beating against the blue-white control decks. Obviously Turok is too because it has pro-white, but the Companionless version had the best matchup against control because it had both Turok and it had Liliana. But at the end of the day, I think I'm just kind of retiring that deck because, like I said, I mean, in almost every other matchup, I mean, if like control really took over the meta, so like it was nothing but control, then I might consider bringing Liliana back. It's not necessarily the price, but I mean, like because I still got Lilianas in my collection. I don't know. I might sell them though, because just I don't like holding on to I don't like speculating on Magic Online. It's just Magic Online is for playing, not for what do you call it speculating. But whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. It was fun experimenting with these companionless builds, but I think I like the way I'm rewarded for playing loaded ground, which is kind of what I like doing anyway. It's my general MO, and Lurrus rewards me for that. And just like with the Infect deck, I just really couldn't think of a different version that actually it would all end up turning into the same version anyway. And I think that's pretty much what ended up happening. Is just the non-budget sort of companionless version ended up and I ended up just wanting to play the budget version instead. I mean, sometimes the budget version's better, and I mean, like, yeah, I mean, what's the point in adding money just to add money? I don't think it's worth losing Lurrus to gain access to Liliana. And to a lesser extent, Murder Strider. There is one thing I did like about Murder Strider though. It was able to outright, to basically outright kill planeswalkers, but I think still it's worth it here. So other changes, okay. I'd explain the main deck, Lithiform Blight. Victim of Night. I think, yeah, I did run this a previous list with Victim of Night, but if you didn't see that one and the last one you saw had Sudden Edict, you're certainly free to play Sudden Edict. I mean, it's also a good card, but the reason why I'm back on Victim of Night more than anything is basically Hammer Time. You see, against Hammer Time, a lot of times they just spam all these like Mem Knights and Ornithopters out with like Springleaf Drums and stuff. And then, like, realistically, you don't want to be... I mean, like, Sudden Edict is just really bad. It's basically just trades 2 mana for 0. Oftentimes, a creature that doesn't even have power on its own anyway. Because Hammer Time's not about, like, killing all their creatures. That usually doesn't happen until, like, maybe later in the game. It's more like in the sideboard games with Ratchet Bomb and then Blast Zone, like, takes the 1-drops. But, like, especially in Game 1, it's not really about killing all their creatures, especially the 0-drops. It's hard to kill all of them without Ratchet Bomb. It's really about just kind of outclassing them. Like if they've got all these dinky 0/2s and 1/1s and all that all over the table, sometimes you can just kind of stall the board with like some random gatekeepers that you cause them to sacrifice things with, and then hold them back to block, and then you can like Turok them, and then sometimes just keep attacking with Turok, which has pro-white, so they can't really block it for the most part. So yeah, Game 1 just comes down to trying to outclass them and hold up removal for anything they try to target with Hammer and Sigarda's Aid or whatever have you. So yeah, and you need to be able to deal with those Pure Steel Platins on site almost. So yeah, I think that's the issue. Sudden Edict is excellent against Murktide, especially since like I said, with Victim of Night, it is nice to have. But a lot of times it's going to require you to have either 2 Victim of Nights or a Victim of Night and a Gatekeeper, which does happen, enough, especially since like if you think about it, there's a number of different ways you can beat Murktide. So I still think we're fine, at least in my experience so far. in some practice games it's been that way, but like yeah, Spellbomb, sometimes you can just keep them off Murktide or make it like expensive enough where you can just kill it with Victim of Night or um or Gatekeeper just outright. Sometimes they just don't hold up counter magic. Maybe they don't have it. In other words, I guess basically sometimes they just don't have counter magic. Sometimes between your Inquisitions and your Collective Brutalities, you just take it anyway, and you can, you know, you don't need two of these, and you know, and of course sometimes you can just end a turn. Excuse me. You can just end a turn, Victim of Night, and then Gatekeeper on our turn. So I still think we're okay, but of course, you know, the upside to a Sudden Edict is there will be some games where Murktide gets you, where if it was Sudden Edict, they wouldn't be able to defend it with counterspell. So, you know, I mean, what can I say? It kind of depends on like which is a bigger boogeyman in your metagame. If it's Infect, then definitely you want Victim of Night, and if it's Murktide, you definitely want Sudden Edict. But at the end of the day, Victim of Night is gonna be, it's gonna hit basically everything. And like I've said before, most of the playable vampires and zombies, at least that are playable outside of like a tribal shell, which is where you're most likely to see them, it will suck when you run into the very occasional, very rare vampire or werewolf tribal deck, especially like in a high level event, which I'm trying to build this deck to compete in ideally. But yeah, like you're, you know, basically like Bloodghast and Gravecrawler and like, you know, what's it called? I mean, yeah, Gatekeeper, but like Jarl's Messenger. I mean, you know, just thinking of like the zombies and vampires that see play, a lot of them have a recursive element. So a lot of times they're not even the creature you'd want to hit anyway. So it's kind of better if you think about it. Like, yeah, you can't hit the recursive zombies and vampires, but you can hit their non-recursive, you know, stuff that they may also be playing. Like, oh, I don't know, Yawgmoth himself or something instead of his minions. So yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Just the times where this won't hit something relevant are very, very rare. And somebody mentioned something about like why not play like Literal Dam, which is you know, 2 black mana sorcery, destroy target creature, overload, 2 white, 2 colorless, destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated if you pay the overload cost. But see, the problem with Dam is great and all, but I don't have white, so I can't use the Wrath effect, and it's a sorcery, not an instant. You'd be forgiven for not noticing that at first. I know I thought I was onto something when I was searching good removal spells and I saw Dam, and I'm like, yeah, wait a minute. Even if I don't play and I'm like, oh, it's a sorcery. And that's the thing. I think it's. I mean, like I explained with Murktide and holding it up in a turn to try to tax their counter spells. Like that's one of the main reasons to even play something like Victim of Night. So I just can't see myself playing Dam. So anyway, at the end of the day, um, it's either Sudden Edict, I think, or Victim of Night. And you know, like there's other options. You know, I guess I'm going on a little tangent here, but like there's other options like Power Word Kill here. Actually, I was kind of getting set in a way on Infernal Grasp, but then I saw an article from Star City Games talking about how Power Word Kill was seeing a lot of play, and then I'm like, wait a minute, isn't Power Word Kill just kind of better? I mean, how many angels, demons, devils, and dragons see play? And then I'm like, wait a minute, Murktide Regents the dragon. Okay, that's a no-no because that's like one of the main things you need to be able to kill. So Power Word Kill, unfortunately, is very close to being modern playable, but since Murktide Regent is, you know, is a beating, that alone disqualifies this, I think. But just the fact that I was thinking about Power Word Kill made me remember, wait a minute, there's something that like only checks for vampires, werewolves, and zombies, and just a lot less of that than like Murktide in the format. So yeah, and I actually used to play this a long time ago in like an Phyrexian Obliterator kind of mid-range type deck. So I knew this card was good from back then, and I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, it's still good. It's a kind of gruesome art here, but anyway. Yeah, anyway, Infernal Grasp is another consideration, but I mean, the problem is that Burn is still in the format, so number one, Infernal Grasp is just horrible. It's always basically a 2 mana. It's always a Dismember for 2 mana, and a lot of times that's still not good enough against Burn. But also like this deck is kind of Guardian's life total a lot, because every point of life is basically an extra card potentially with Castle Locthwain. So I just don't like losing 2 life, you know, and a lot of games will come down really to the wire. So yeah, I actually do think it's worth the extra black mana, yeah, to play Victim of Night. And so here's another thing too. You know, I was playing around with what's that card called? with Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Let me try to show it. Yeah, I was kind of playing around with this card for a little bit, but see, like, it seems very free, but see, there's actually three major problems with it. Problem number one is it does make us slightly more weak to Blood Moon, and that was actually something I experienced on the other side when I was playing a mono. When I was playing one of my mono red builds, and I faced somebody who was actually using a variation of my mono black deck, and Urborg really was the difference between them winning or losing. Like a lot of times, just how disruptive Blood Moon is, can really determine games. Kept them off of 3 black mana basically for their gatekeepers and kicked Turoks. So yeah, problem number one with Urborg is that it makes us that much weaker to Blood Moon, whereas like basically I'm playing just a fifth fetch land here, Prismatic Vista. Yeah, so yeah, fetch lands can play around Blood Moon easier because you just go fetch the swamps and they don't get hit by Blood Moon. Ideally, but obviously later fetches do, so you got to be quick with them. Also, fetch lands, of course, playing another fetch land also just makes Cling to Dust a little more consistent for playing this on turn 1 if they don't put anything in their graveyard. Because Cling to Dust your own fetch land. And the second issue with Hive of the not Hive with Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, it's also just that like it does compete with just an extra swamp that's taking like that's it's kind of reducing the amount of lands you have that you can pull out of your deck when you're fetching. And while it does make your fetch lands able to tap for black, the third issue is that it also like allows your opponent's lands to tap for black, which most of the time isn't going to be an issue. Sometimes it does color fix them, but the main thing actually that I didn't realize is it also lets them tap their fetch lands for black, and it's also kind of a non-bow with Lithiform Blight, I think, because I mean I guess it depends on the order they come down, but like. Yeah, well, maybe not. I'm not sure exactly how these two work together, but the main point is that Urborg, it kind of gives them some of the same benefits as you, and it definitely can color fix them as well. But I think one of the main things is just sometimes when they're low on life. I remember there were some games where I got them really low on life, like at like 1 life or something, and I basically couldn't play Urborg. And I think I definitely would have been able to place more spells if I had played it, but it's just so valuable, like not having them not be able to crack fetch lands and not be able to boost their total land count. But if you play Urborg, then they can tap them, and of course that is technically true for us as well. But it's just the fact that it's so symmetrical in that regard, and it's not good against Blood Moon, and we're not playing like 8 colorless sources like we were in some of the previous builds, which that was probably never a good idea in the first place. But we're only playing 4 colorless sources, mostly for that 4th land with Turok with the kicker. So it does come up sometimes where I'm like, dang, I wish I had a Urborg, but with only 1, it's pretty unlikely to see that when you need it anyway, which is very early. If you play a 1-of, you're just much more likely to see it far later in the game. Man, I've been going on a while for this deck tech. Let's get to the rest of this. Long story short, I'm playing 5 fetches and 7 fetchable lands, and I think this is about right. We'll see if we'll see if this is too few lands to pull out, but I think that should be fine. Yeah, and I'm diversifying them, of course. So if they play Pithing Needle or something, they can't hit me. It's kind of marginal, but anyway. And then we've got some changes to the sideboard. So of course we got our standard 4 of Ratchet Bomb, 4 of Necromentia. Necromentia, of course, as I've explained a million times, we need some kind of combo hate, and this is basically the best anti-combo hate card. It comes in basically any combo type matchup that it relies a lot on 1 or 2 cards. And I know it's technically card disadvantage if it's not in their hand, but like there are a lot of decks. Like, obviously against aggro and, like, a lot of your average aggro and mid-range decks, I mean, obviously, like, their threats are all super diversified. But there are some decks that, like, just rely on a handful, maybe sometimes just 1 threat, and you take that out of their deck, and then bam, you basically win. And those decks actually are kind of especially difficult for Black to deal with, because because we're kind of focused on like discarding and stuff, and if they're just always going to top deck something that instantly wins, that could be a problem. And of course this just takes it out of the deck. Ratchet Bomb, of course, for tokens, and also just like more 1-drops and stuff, just extra artifacts and enchantments. It's also nice because if they play Pithing Needle on either Blaststone or Ratchet Bomb, the other one can free it up and yeah, let the other one keep doing its thing. I used to play 4 Break the Ice and 2 Pithing Needle, but I've switched that to 4 Feed the Swarm and 2 Break the Ice. Now, obviously I'm going to be a little bit weaker to Tron because I can't stop turn 1 map with a Pithing Needle anymore. I'm going to be a little weaker to Belcher too because I don't have the Pithing Needle. Well, sort of. I'll explain. But hear me out. One thing I did not realize about Feed the Clan at first was that it actually can outright kill Urza Saga on turn 2. And that is huge because that means that like I kind of liked having access to 8 of these. I mean, originally only 4, but I like basically having Urza Saga completely covered. And Feed the Swarm, even if you're not facing a lot of enchantments, there are a decent amount of decks where it's going to have a good enough amount of like low converted mana cost targets that aren't going to completely eat away our life. In addition to Urza Saga, which a lot of Urza Saga decks play a lot of cheap artifact creatures anyway. So yeah, so just it's just really nice that it double serves as extra Urza hate and also extra creature hate, and it deals with frickin' Leyline of Sanctity. I hate that card. Like against Belcher, for example, like Pithing Needle is great, but then they always side in Force of Vigor, basically Feed the Swarm. Just, you know, and they side in Leyline of Sanctity. So yeah, Feed the Swarm is just an easy way to just finally get through Leyline of Sanctity, and then of course we can actually disrupt them again because like you just can't win sometimes. They play Leyline of Sanctity, and even if their hand is a little clunky, they almost always like draw out of their slump before you can like charge up a Blast Zone to kill the. Yeah, it just takes so long to use these like charged effects to deal with Leyline, and Leyline comes out for 0. That's also why we kind of need 4 Swarms, is that like they're kind of incentivized to play at least 3, if not 4 Leylines in order to consistently have them in their opening hand. So a lot of times they'll dump, 2 of them out. So like sometimes you really need to have like 2 Feed the Swarms. And anyway, and then of course like you can curved Feed the Swarm into Necromentia, and then ideally you win. I don't know, like this is kind of the weaknesses of black actually, is like Leyline, especially in the combo matchups, it's just really rough. Anyway, I think we should get to the games. This has gone on long enough. The rest I think is pretty much, I've already explained it, so in previous leagues, but let's get to the games. Come on. Yes. Alrighty, let's see here. This hand is pretty much garbage. Oh, okay, well, this hand is land, so at least there's that. You'll keep. On the off chance this is burn, let's send a fetch land to the bottom. Hive is obviously the best way to start. If this is hammer time, it's Orzhov something, probably hammer time. Alright, it's hammer time. Alright. This is why we went back to Victim of Night instead of Sun and Edict. Could play Marsh Flats, just on the off chance that we'll need it to enable Revolt on Lurrus. We'll keep it around. Okay, I definitely think we want to Victim that. This is exactly where we're playing Victim. Normally I'm not a big fan of doing this, but considering I got nothing better to do, let's just, yeah. I didn't escalate it because it's very unlikely that they have instant resources in their hand. Okay, well, we'll see if that main deck Lithiform Blight shows up. Gotta deal with this sooner or later, might as well deal with it now. I'm not sure exactly, though, how to deal with this issue of drawing all these lands. This issue of not drawing the cards we need when we need them. Yeah, I'm not sure how to solve the problem of not drawing what I need when I need it. But, because we definitely used all the removal that we needed to on the stuff we needed to. Smith, this, and the problem is, I guess, you know, where I went wrong is I should not have used that Collective Brutality on the Midnight. That's probably where I went wrong. Yeah, see what I mean? Every single time we lose to Hammer Time, it's our fault. We definitely could have won. Make no mistake, Hammer Time is, in a sense, a good deck. But if the opponents don't make mistakes, it'll basically never win. But this is actually mind-numbingly infuriating here. Like, why do sometimes I just draw so many lands? What's funny is they probably think that they won. They didn't win, I lost. Yeah, Collective Brutality is not really at its best. As flawed as Cling to Dust could be, as you can see, sometimes it's necessary. Yeah, I might not need Cling to Dust. Need 2 of these. And 2 Break the Ice. I do a 2-2 split of Spellbomb and Cling to Dust. Being able to gain a little life could be the difference between... Well, it could be a game changer, let's put it that way. Actually, let's just do this. I think recurring Ratchet Bomb is going to be our main thing anyway. Yeah, but clearing The way for Lurrus seems not bad either. Let's get 2 Break the Ice, 2 Nihil Spellbomb. Yeah, we have literally no way to gain life though. Yeah, I think Inquisition of Kozilek kind of becomes dead too quickly. Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, Cling is a little better because we it cycles faster. Worried for a second that the game was going to crash. I guess I'll keep. I mean, it could be better, but it kind of depends on their hand. So annoying. Alright, let's just hold up Victim. Okay, they must have a hammer guy. Well, I like my chances of surviving here, I think, as long as I play this out. I don't have any flyers, so as long as I don't draw like something that gives trample. I could play Turok and Ratchet Bomb, but they could get Shadow Sphere. I just have to hope they don't have Pithing Needle. Yeah, I just have to hope they don't have Pithing Needle. Okay, so this is what I could do. Nice. I caught them off guard. Alright, I'll just do this just to have a good blocker. That'll make up for my misplay in game 1, which I should have won. So don't worry about that. Alrighty. Turok is such a great blocker. I don't like instant speed nonsense. Yeah, I guess sooner or later I have to deal with this. So this is what I'm going to do. If they have a hammer, that could potentially lose me the game. But they could just draw a hammer. How can I insulate myself from any risk of losing? I don't think there is a way to insulate myself completely from any risk of losing. Well, I guess there is. I could play out Gatekeeper. And then let's see. If they Sigarda's Aid, I could block. Block the one that is trampled, block the other one. But then they hammer. Okay, look. I don't know. This is not my first choice use of Gatekeeper, but as long as we survive, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. So the only way we lose is probably if they draw land, if they either have a land in their hand or they draw a hammer, but more likely, since they missed a land drop, is if they have hammer in their hand or they draw land, and then they can Shadow Spirit and play hammer. Okay, I feel good about our chances now. Okay, good. Yeah, because what I could do then is just play Turok, and yes, I will lose the ability to get their Lurrus, but then I can always buy back the other Turok with my Lurrus, so, okay. You know, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Necromentia, Gatekeeper, Collective Brutality, Necromentia. Yeah, I think we already settled on this being pretty much the best. Yeah, actually, I forgot about the utility of Turok. I just don't think I need Inquisition. I mean, sometimes under some circumstances it can be good. Maybe on the play to prevent me from getting juked, but I'm more worried about the early to mid game rather than just like the first 2 turns. Sometimes they just get us in the first 2 turns, but I'm more worried about them getting us somewhere between the beginning and the mid game. Like, and there's more space, but beyond just the first 2 turns. That I think having access to more stuff is better. Anyway, let's see. What's amazing is that their Urza Saga went off despite us having 10 ways to stop it. Thankfully, we still won, as we should have. But yeah, we've literally got. I mean, don't forget, Feed the Swarm actually hits Urza Saga now. Blah. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see. La 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 la. Okay. Lurrus. The red-nosed reindeer. This hand. I think this hand is too clunky. This hand is clunky, but actually has a payoff. Gatekeeper is a little too speculative. Let's hope they don't have Pithing Needle. Yeah, let's just play this out. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's a little bit scary. I guess we know what they can do. I don't... The thing is, because I have these blast zones that I'm building up to, I don't feel I have to run Ratchet Bomb out right now. Could go after Pure Steel, then play Turok. Nah. Alrighty. I'm thinking about juicing the Blast Zone up to 2 if they don't do anything. Okay. Let's see what they target. Yeah, I'll juice it up. Is there any advantage to waiting? No, there's no advantage. Hopefully they don't play like Flare Husk like into play at end of turn. I guess that is a reason, but I don't know why they didn't put that on their Pure Steel Platin. Might have been a little bit of a misplay, but this is kind of a BS hand. And I think we would have been able to win game 2 anyway, even without their misplay of not cracking the Mistress Bauble. So I think if we win this, still all is well, despite this misplay from the opponent. Okay. I don't think we can allow that that Lurrus to live. So I have two options. I can try to blow up all their 1-drops, but then they drop Lurrus, bring back Pure Steel Platin. There's nothing to equip. Yeah, that sounds like what we want to do. Because if we don't discard Lurrus, then we just lose. Well, maybe not lose, but I can't help but feel like they jumped the gun here. I don't know if they realize that I'm gonna clear their hammer. And do they get Sigarda's aid back, or do they get Pure Steel Platin? That was an odd choice. Anything in their graveyard instant speed? I don't think so. So I have to hit Lurrus. Actually, they are actually coming dangerously close to getting us. So let's see. I'll use 3 hammers. I need like a Sigarda's aid, another Pure Steel Platin, something. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, well that alone is not too bad. Okay, that alone is not too bad. Okay, it's getting actually a little concerning. Okay. We can gain some life and play Turok. Okay, okay. So we can block that. kill the other thing, gain some life. Or we can yeah, we want to do this in the attack step because we don't want them to play more stuff. More stuff. Sure what the point of doing that right now is. Okay. I'll make sure I'm targeting the right thing. I could gain more life still. Or I could play Ratchet Bomb, which seems slightly better. Let's just do this now. We don't gain anything from waiting. If we survive, I think we're in good shape. The last Colossus Hammer. Okay, that will bring us down to 2 as of right now. Unless they have the last hammer in their hand. The last hammer, yeah. Or the last Stoneforge Mystic. The last unicorn. I guess I might as well just do this. And the last eagle flies. Gaining life is good, but see, here's my dilemma. I don't want to lose to a top deck hammer. I think y'all can relate to that. So I'm gonna try. To see what happens if I. Oof. Okay, well, I wish I had one more mana. Well, let's see if they draw their last hammer corn. Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, that Dark Confidant necessitates me fatal pushing. Let's see. Let's see what they sacrifice. Even if they sacrifice the Dark Confidant, I'll just hold up a Fatal Push, and I think I'll be all right. I guess it was good that I cycled. I just needed a little extra help. Little bit extra help. Oh yeah. I just needed a little bit extra help. Let's see if they're saying something in the chat. Okay. Well, let's do this then. So we can finally go on the offensive. Lithiform Blight is good against Urza Saga, but it's also good against Inkmoth Nexus. Okay, good. I think we finally stabilized. Yeah, I think they could have won this game, but I should have won game 1, and truthfully, I should have won game 2 too. I doubt them having one more card from that Mishra's Bauble would have made a difference. Now I'm kind of wishing that that they would have drawn the card, so I could have known for sure I would have won that game. Because this one, I think the variance was a little bit against us, but we should be able to win 2 out of 3 for the most part if we're playing 100% solid. But as you can see, if they don't play 100% solid, they can some of this. You know, I think we're about 2-1 favorites if we both play perfectly. But sometimes we can lose a game that we should have won if we played perfectly. You know, if we don't play perfectly, but sometimes they can too. They don't play perfectly either all the time, just like us. You know, it's important to keep that in mind. They're not always playing perfectly either. So, like in this game, it's a fact of life. You know. So I think all is kind of well in the world in the end. I guess you could say things are as they should be. That's another way you could say it. I think the opponent is just in shock that they're actually losing to our deck. So I'm gonna meet you all in the next match. If for some reason they make some insane comeback, I guess I'll record when it picks back up. And you know, but otherwise, even if they play on a little bit longer, I don't think it's really worth seeing. It's very clear that we've got this on lock, because next turn we just put Lurrus to our hand, play it out, then we start recurring Ratchet Bomb, and you know, and they can't really threaten anything just yet. So, all right. Anyway, see you all in the next match. I'll let you all know if something crazy happens. If it's crazy enough, I'll try to record it. All right. All right, match 2. Okay. This hand looks a little clunky. Ironically, I was a little happy at first when I thought this was I forget what you call it. When I thought that was Lithiform Blight because we could fix our own mana. Just holding up in case they have Ragged Ash. Otherwise, we'll deal with a Dragon Rage Channeler. We'll probably take, actually, and depending on what we play, we might Collective Brutality. It's probably marginally better if we can do that. But I don't want to get counterspelled, so... Alright, I don't want to get counterspelled, so... But Ragged Dash is going to kill us. So here's what I want to do. I want to play this. And we'll just play the waiting game. Okay, that's fine. I'll still hold up Fatal Push. I just really don't want to get Ragged Dashed. So our patience pays off. So I for sure want to do this. Escalate. The question is though, what do we discard? Man, this pains me, but we're just so far away from it. I don't know, Archmage's Charm seems like the most value. They can't play whatchamacallit just yet. Murktide. Now if they have an untapped island, but if they have a fetch land, I guess that'll work too. Oof. Yeah, they okay. So their counter spell is up. Come on, untap Black Source. Let's see if they counter this. I'm gonna go after my Blast Zone, which I know seems weird, but I need to color fix myself. How much do I want to risk, Murktide? I'm just so far behind here in mana. I wouldn't have won if I had well, that digs 3 cards deep for Murktide, but if a fetch land is a part of the equation, I may have to crack. Okay. Tap Black Source, please. Go on and tap Black Source. Okay, what I have to do is I think I just have to do this just to draw my untap Black Source. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh yeah. They got Murktide. I can feel it. Oh, or not, because they could have actually played it if they had it. Well, I guess let's do this. Do we fish out an Archmage's Charm? Let's do this, I guess. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess jokes on us, like I always say sometimes. But two of these are redraws, but that's not one of them. Feels like they just drew a counter spell. Otherwise, why wouldn't they crack that on their turn? But anyway. Okay, well, jeez. Frickin' annoying. They could have just tapped that anyway. Oops. Come on. Okay. Alright. I mean, part of me wonders if maybe I should have just cracked the blast zone. The other part of me, though, feels like I gotta deal with that, and hopefully this is enough to deal with Murktide, but it might not. I'm not 100% sure if that island is actually in their hand or not. Okay. Alright, and maybe if I draw on land, I might be able to Lurrus, get back what's it called, Turok. But I mean, I say we go for it. This is probably going to eat a counter spell, but we shall see. Okay, I like it. They want to play that right into Turok. They could replay it though. Alrighty. Dun, 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 dun. See if they play on another island. I mean, they should, since I know about it. Okay. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Izzet. Murktide. Let me see here. Feed the Swarm is a trap, I think. But Lithoform Blight is even more of a trap. And I think Ratchet Bomb is not a trap because we need more ways to hold up and deal with dashing Ragavans. This is good because it clears out their counter magic. Yeah, and Feed the Swarm is just because I don't want to lose life. And especially I don't want to lose 7 life from Murktide. Ouch. Losing 7 life from Murktide is the definition of ouch. Okay. I'll take it. Like I have to play out the castle. Oh man. I want a path. Okay. We're gonna get Raggedashed. At least one turn. I don't know if I want to use Victim of Night. Getting Raggedashed twice is a little brutal. I got a feeling they got Spell Pierce. Okay. So then I'll Shattering Spree. Bam. I think I have to wait. I mean, I don't have to. I think Clinging to Dust, their graveyard, is, all things considered, better than Clinging to Dust mine. Kabam. Just the Scalding Tarn. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, I could Nihil Spellbomb, but I'm gonna wait. This also helps defend against Dashing Ragas. Murktide time. Alright, but good thing we're prepared for the end of turn Victim Knight, our turn Gatekeeper. See, this is the whole reason I want an instant speed card like this. Okay. Alright. And we can continue to draw cards with Cling to Dust, which is always nice. Okay. The more I get to Cling to Dust, though, the more I get to make my own expressive iteration. It takes time, but I get to do it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do this. Got to get maximum use out of my blast zones. Okay, well, I'll Gatekeeper. This could get a little dangerous. Okay, maybe I don't need a Gatekeeper. Gatekeepering still could be good. Yeah, Gatekeepering I think is still good. It is fundamentally a 2-for-1. Just a little bit worried about Murktide, but thankfully I've got this Victim of Night. And the only way I get screwed is if they draw Fetch Land, Murktide, and then... Okay. Okay, I forced them to have to play a card like that, so... As far as I'm concerned, I think we're in good shape. I'm going to try to get a Cling to Dust. They got a Murktide. Could be a problem, but it's okay. Okay, let's cling to dust, the expressive iteration. Brutality. Da, da. They can't sacrifice on their own graveyard, so cool stuff. This could be a big mistake, but let's see. Okay, well that prevented from drawing 2 cards, so it can't be too bad. Okay, that'll slow down Murktide. This is extremely important. Did they even use any lightning bolts? They did not. So I do not actually want to die to quad lightning bolt. It could happen. It could happen. Could put Lurrus to hand. Yeah, actually that was a mistake. I shouldn't have left the Blast Zone untapped. But I highly doubt we're losing this game anyway. Just cling to dust. Alrighty. I want to gain some life. I can't. Not yet, at least. Well, this could go very, very wrong. I don't. Let's not get quad lightning bolted. Holding on to Lurrus is proving to be an extremely lucrative battle plan. Okay. Well, yeah, let's juice this thing all the way up to 7, shall we? While we're at it. I mean, why not? How much you want to bet? Whatever I play is just going to get countered. So. Okay, they done dress down. It happened. It happened. So the question is, should I Fatal Push or should I Gatekeeper? I'm leaning towards Fatal Push. I don't know. Yeah, Fatal. I mean Gatekeeper, because I gotta keep up for Ragadash, I guess. Okay. Consider. Lightning Bolt. Okay. Murky Mark. Yeah, sometimes this can be a grueling slogfest, but this is a matchup ultimately in our favor. They might actually deck. Okay. That's A-okay by me. Well, that's not gonna win the game unless... Should I take this up? I mean, the way I lose is ultimately by ragged dashing, not by, Every little decision matters. Come on, discard spell. It is what it is. I don't know how they're going to kill us, whether they have a million turns or whatever. Take up Ratchet Bomb. Yeah, that seems like the thing to do, if you know what I mean. I would suggest gain life here. I don't see no reason to Inquisition just yet. Okay, hopefully I get to untap with this. Okay, maybe I should have... have to connect with that chase at least once. I should have played the Ratchet Bomb, that was my bad. I don't know why I didn't. Moral of the story, I should have left Blast Zone on 1, because I could always, or maybe at 4. Yeah, because I forgot that they played Jace in the sideboard, but I don't think that this is going to result in me losing or anything. Oh man, what a frickin' slog, man. What a frickin' slog. I think it's gonna come down to them decking. Yeah, I'm in good shape. Let's try to go for them for winning with them decking. That's what I would like. That's what I would very much like for Christmas. That's what I would very much like for Christmas. Oh yeah. Yeah, nice try. Let's not let Spell Pierce do anything, shall we? Oh, whoa, 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 what a slog. Man. But ultimately, I think like we gain enough life, we have enough hard removal, that they ultimately they just can't kill us. So, you know, whether they deck or we take their life down, I mean, either way. Alright, match 3, let's go. Lurrus. Oh. And we will keep. We will keep. Man, what a frickin' slog that was last game. Just an insane slog. They literally ran out of cards in their deck. That's how much we grinded. Oh no. Well, I guess we get to test just how effective we can really be against Tron. This is close, but the fact that they didn't play a what do you call it, Mana Rock on turn 1 indicates to me, but they actually could be E-Tron, which I just realized. Maybe. But if they're also playing E-Tron, I don't really think they play any instants or sorceries. Well, I guess good to know what's in their hand. Just wasn't sure if they were playing E-Tron or not. So Karn liberated. Why couldn't they have Sylvan Scrying last turn? But anyway. Maybe I should have just discarded this, but we'll see. Alright, do we steal game 1 against Tron? That'd be crazy. Alright, we steal game 1 against Tron. Game 1, you belong to us. Somehow we haven't not been seeing our Lithiform Blights. We definitely want Break the Ice, that's for sure. We definitely want Necromentia, that's for sure. Hopefully they're not bringing in Leyline of Sanctity. It's not what we would expect against this deck. Fatal Push is very meh. Collective Brutality is also very meh. Ratchet Bomb's also meh, but I think as a 2-of, Ratchet Bomb is a little less meh than Collective Brutality. Collective Brutality really only hits Sylvan Scrying for the most part. Sometimes Warping Whale or something, but it's just so unreliable to hit. So some lists play All Is Dust, but that's very unusual because for the most part, Ujin and Oblivion Stone are just better. But I can see the appeal to having a 7-mana sweeper. Those technically cost a total of 8. No, this is unacceptable. If we want to win, we got to do better than this. Yeah, this could work. Man, Spellbomb is good with Lurrus, but Lurrus is kind of a later in the game type thing anyway. By then we might draw another one, I don't know. I guess we'll Lithiform Blight. I think we have to do this on the off chance that they what do you call it? Okay. That they Veil of Summer. My okay, I don't think they can Veil of Summer. We actually might have made them able to Veil of Summer. So they're gonna get a 2/2 token, that's fine. Urza's Tower. So they have so they have BZ, KL, UM, and UPP. Hopefully I remember what all these acronyms stand for. Let's see, Worm Coil, Welt, Ballista, Legion, Dark Tusk, Sylvan Scrying, Blue Stone, Karn, Great Crater, Liberated, Forest, Expedition Map, Dismember, Chromatic Star, Chromatic Sphere, Ancient Star. So they do have that one of all of dust I was saying. Yeah, if they want to use their Blast Zone, that's fine by me. There goes the Ursus power plant. I think I have to take those Karn the Great Creators. I don't know. Sanctum, Mine, Wilt. There goes Mine, Wilt, Sanctum. Okay, that's good for next turn, but for this turn, we must attack. You know, actually, I forgot about this, but actually, if we Lithophone Blight that, our Break the Ice would have been able to hit the basic forest. Something to think about, because it would have given it the colorless ability. Yeah, we're basically playing Break the Ice more for the overload. That's why I'm comfortable having this as a 2 of overload. Overloaded! Oh! To quote Michael Jackson, ow! Or better yet, maybe don't do that. We overloaded. We over. Dismember, but they could Oblivion Stone, couldn't they? Why don't they just crack Oblivion Stone? Oh, I left Victim in the Night in? That was kind of a mistake. I guess that hits, let's try to finish them before they actually recover. Which they might, you never know. Let's let the Form Blade on this. And let's Necromentia naming Nurturing Peatland. Alright. Hopefully they cannot clear, and if they do, at least they'll have to clear their own token too. Oh, okay. We actually beat Tron. Whoa. Must be our lucky day. Oh. Nice. Okay, okay. Match 4. Match 4. Match 4. Match 4. Match 4. Oh no, it's Tron again. I don't know how lucky I feel to beat Tron back to back. I mean, as I showed, it is possible. I mean, I've gone down to only 2. Okay, it's not. It's Affinity. Well, this is also a little bit concerning. If we had Bantu's Last Reckoning or Damnation, I'd like my chances a little more. Shadow Spear, Signal Pest. There's only like 1 Shadow Spear in their deck. And the problem is I just don't have creature removal right now. It's just weird. I don't know why. Yeah, I think. Oh. Yeah, this could be totally wrong, but I think later down the road, I'm going to thank myself for taking that Shadow Spear. Hopefully, I don't have more than 1. Froggy frog. Top turn. If they play Urza Saga, we have an answer. Let's do this at the beginning of their upkeep. They don't have 4 mana. Unless I'm missing something. It's a 3-for-1, not bad. It's a 3-for-1 even if they Welding Jar, okay. Ginger Brute. Ginger Brute. The Brute. Okay, I think I have to do this. Can bring back Spellbomb. I'm gonna play Lurrus, but I think I have to. But I think I have to play it and then just hold back. Hopefully, they don't seem to have red mana. They probably suspect something's up. Hopefully, they don't have counter magic. I'm gonna play. I think I'm gonna play Gatekeeper without the kicker, which I know seems really weird. But hear me out. I need to be able to block the Mem Knight. This. I could take. I could. I could take, and I'm thinking about. Yeah, I need to. I need to take. Man, I hate the way I'm basically going to have to sacrifice Lurrus, but I think there's no other way. Okay. So I'll have to block with the Gatekeeper. I guess I should have played the Spellbomb, shouldn't I? Oh, I don't lose because of that slight oversight. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Let's see, 1-1, 2-2. See, 1-1, 2-2, so that's 6, 7, 8 exactly, and I have to block from, right? Just had lethal in the air if I didn't attack, so. I was trying to draw like a fatal push or something, but anyway, it wasn't meant to be. So many Lithiform Blights. This would have been so good if they happened to have Urza Saga. Their hands are just so, like, random. Dimir, Affinity. I really wish they would just have a uniform. The problem is that Lithiform Blight is objectively really good against them because, trust me, they play Urza Saga. Inquisition becomes dead way too quickly. Yeah, Turok also. Sometimes Turok can be good, but I think Feed the Swarm is probably going to be better. So much of their stuff is so high converted mana cost, though. Yeah, maybe Feed the Swarm ain't all it's cracked up to be. But no, you know what? It's dual purpose, though. So Inquisition, Turok. Yeah, it's dual purpose, and it can also hit Urza Saga. I need 8 ways to hit Urza Saga, because trust me, even if they didn't have Urza Saga that game, next game, they'll have Urza Saga, and we're not going to have our Lithiform Blight. That's just how it works. When we have Lithiform Blight, they don't have Urza Saga. When they have Urza Saga, we don't have Lithiform Blight. But maybe we'll have Feed the Swarm, because one thing I didn't realize, and one reason why I'm trying to feed the Swarm again, in addition to frickin' Leyline being annoying, is it hits Urza Saga, which is, of course, very sweet. Alright, well, we got our answer to Urza Saga. We got some early interaction. I don't know what else to say. With recurring Ratchet Bomb, we maybe have a chance with Lurrus here. Alright. Oh, yeah. Well, let's go for maximum juke. Hopefully, if they have another one, we have we just what we put 8 in there. What we put 8. Well, this is very sweet. Man, this is gonna result in 5 damage, but I still think I'm okay. Alrighty. See, that's why we needed 8 of these things. cannot allow them to draw more Urza Sagas than we have answers. We just cannot. Hold up, Fatal Push. Gingerbrut. Can definitely Fatal Push that. Might not be able to Fatal Push that. Might not be able to Fatal Push that. But I do have Victim of Night. Okay, I have another Lithiform Blight, thank you. Alright, you got it. That's Fatal Push. Yeah, let's turn off auto yields. I'm worried about them. I don't think they can mana accelerate into a cranial plating. At least I hope not. Ready? I may need Ratchet Bomb. I think I need Ratchet Bomb. Lurrus is nice, but alright. Alright. I may want to take Ratchet Bomb up to 2. Yeah, I don't see the point of Lithiform Blight. That's very good. Yeah, that's not a good attack. I think they just realized it. Okay. I think that's a concession lag. Okay. I'm below on time. That's definitely concerning, but I think we're good. Jeez. What an insane affinity idea here. Oh. Ugh. If you look up the definition of ugh in the dictionary, it's pretty much this. Okay. This is not. This is not ugh. It's a little bit. I'm gonna keep. I think Nihil Spellbomb is a little too cute. I'm gonna do this because I may need to draw a card. Hopefully I don't draw another Hive of the Eye Tyrant. I mean, even if I do, it still probably was still correct to just draw a card with Clean Dust so I can see the maximum number of cards next turn. I don't like that. Thoughtcast. Man, they still left Urza Saga despite seeing the insane amount of hate that I brought in for it. Very surprising. Yeah, I cannot let that thing survive. Okay, so I have a choice to make. I don't want to insta lose to. So here's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna escalate. I'm gonna gain some life. I highly doubt. I'm doing this because because I'm thinking that I might draw. You know, I forget what you call it. I might draw a blast zone. Okay, well, might as well. If I can keep them off enough artifacts, that could be good for keeping their affinity count down. They have 3 artifacts, though. 4 artifacts. 5 artifacts. 6 artifacts. 7 artifacts. Please don't play another one. Please don't play another one. Please don't play another one. Okay. No, hopefully I don't get cranial plated. It's possible. It's possible. I tried to fight the good fight. Okay. I'm not getting cranial plated yet. Okay, let's gatekeep them. I like it. Oops. Well, they're obviously going to sacrifice. I shouldn't have done that. Maybe it ends up working out for the better though. But I really, what was I thinking? I should have played that first. Oh. But in a way though, I'm not as worried about a big grounded beater. I'm just not. Especially as I can put Lurrus to my hand and then suicide attack and then I'm in good shape. want to hit. I want to hit thought, whatever it's called, but I could cling it to dust. Yeah, I'm doing it. I have to do it now, because otherwise I'll forever hold my peace. If I had hit the right way, I might have been able to be on the offensive. If I draw another untapped land, I can get, you know what? Nah. Very close. So I have to do this, I think. So they're gonna get one token, at least. Return so many nonsense things. Fatal push that at least. I probably should have hit the signal pest or something. Yeah, I should have hit the signal pest last turn. This construct token is dangerous, but let's see. 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute. 2, 2, 4, 5. I guess technically I can live if I hit this. Cranial plating for the win. Do I live at 1? This is the only way. I guess I might as well just played it out for 2 now that I think about it. That's a weird sacrifice, if you ask me. Come on, no cranial plating. I smell cranial plating. Because, I mean, they're like halfway into their deck. Well, I messed up big time, but I guess I still get a... Hopefully they don't blood. Dang, I'm sorry, all. Oh, I could have got a trophy. Alright, match 5. Man, that sucked. I think I could have won if I would have hit the, if I would have hit that, thought monitor and then made them sacrifice, instead of the other way around. I doubt they realize that, so they're probably just like, we, easily beat the stupid mono black deck, but whatever. It's our fault. It's all our fault. Well, that's the form blight's suddenly gonna look not half bad. Wilderness Reclamation looks really strange to me for some reason. Let's slow it down, shall we? Alrighty. So they mostly just have air in their hand. They have one action card in their hand because they got 2 Misty. 2 fetch lands. Okay, that's their 1 action card. What on earth are they ramping towards? They have one action card. The question is, what is it? And they happen to draw some type of payoff. You know, I mean, it's not like the absolute worst, but I mean, geez, that their hand was pretty much not gas, and they pretty much drew exactly what they needed to draw. Guess you could say it's our fault though for not being more patient, but I actually don't mind having this go on the Celestial Colonnade. Okay, hopefully they don't have anything they can do with this much mana, because geez Louise, is this a lot of mana. I wonder how they're always drawing with some payoff, like right when they need it, but of course the first payoff finds the others, but... More Solitude, okay, that's fine. It's a Yurion card, but do they main deck Yurion? do this right now. Alrighty. Gonna hold that for Revolt, I guess. Oh, we're basically out of fetchable lands, wow. Should I play this? I guess I should. Okay, well I'm officially out of fetchable land, so that can't actually get anything. Oh, I knew I should have saved it for that. Dig cards deep each turn. Okay. The problem here... Man, the bigger issue here than that I've run out of fetchable lands is just that I have this many lands in the first place. Which maybe that tells me something. That I don't need to worry about the fetchable land issue. At least if I have 7 lands, I think 7 lands is enough. Any actual counter magic? I could. I'm banking to draw another one. Maybe I should have waited to kill that thing, but I don't know. And definitely escalating. Four, five, six. Solitude. One, two. I can't actually activate that. Let's do this while we can. Well, they used over half their time to win match one. We might be playing for the Dirtle win. Oh, jeez. Jeez, this matchup. I wonder, do they always have so many lands? I mean, maybe. If I name that whole thing... Hull... Oh, yeah. Hull Breacher. I want to make sure I name the right name. His name's Hull Breacher. Okay, so I think definitely Necromancia. Okay. I could actually feed the Swarm. Might actually... Yeah, so let's think about this logically. Fatal Push is a complete dud. The Form Blight can be good. Nihil Spellbomb is okay. Feed the Swarm might actually not be half bad. What to replace? I don't know if Collective Brutality is actually that good. Didn't seem to have any actual counter spells. Yeah, I'll play Feed the Swarm. It's going to deal me a lot of damage, though. Yeah, I don't know about this. Did they even have any instants or sorceries? I don't even know. Oh, it definitely went Turok. That's a mistake. Alright, well... They must have like a couple Shark Typhoons in there somewhere too. I guess we'll find out. Inquisition. Inquisition. Abundant growth. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, that's a new card they drew. Alright, that's gonna help me at least curve out. Will it be enough? Who knows? It's Hullbreaker Horror. I did not learn my lesson from using Lithophone Blight more sparingly. Can't play Hullbreaker Horror just yet. So they have Subtlety. Didn't see that last time. Teferi, one of those. Solitude. Well, that is what it is. So they have Abundant Growth and Endurance. Yeah, I can intercept that. I knew I shouldn't have played this. Well, we actually were kind of coming close to maybe. I knew Feed the Swarm was not going to work out, but I don't know. Like, where was all their wilderness reclamations? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have afforded to lose that much life anyway. You live and you learn. It's just... well, post-league wrap-up. Well, I don't know what to make of that Bant deck. I think there was some misplays there, but like... Yeah, one of the main things is I really just needed to, I really needed to keep us, what was it? I needed to, hold on to that Lithiform Blight. Your patience with the Lithiform Blight, and there was probably some other things. And also, probably I needed to keep something else in. I forget. Oh yeah, Feed the Swarm is just not good. I probably should have kept Collective Brutality. That's it. I mean, it just cleanly deals with Solitude and Ice Fang Coatl, and anyway. Yeah, and against Affinity, we just, what a heartbreaking misplay. I just started choking so hard there at the end. I was kind of on track for a trophy, and then like I forgot to play Collective Brutality first, then then play Gatekeeper, and then I could have gone to the offensive with all my Gatekeepers and potentially forced them to start chump blocking with like their dinky creatures, because they went for a while without having like a beefy blocker, that unchecked Urza token thing. So it's very possible I could have actually juked them with by switching to the offensive before they could, get back their footing. It's also I let them attack. Where I needed to pop Blast Zone before they got to the attack phase. I can't believe I forgot that. I don't know. It got kind of late here, but yeah, I think it's pretty good stuff. Yeah, I think you can definitely at least go 4-1 with this deck, and it's very possible to go 5-0. Again, the only matchup that I feel like I'm worse off for not playing the budget version is pretty much for playing like the non-budget version with Liliana is pretty much control decks. And even some control decks, I mean, that wasn't even a real control. I didn't see any actual counter magic in that Bant, Reclamation deck. So that deck had a lot of creatures, so I'm not even so sure Liliana would be that great. It would just get pressured a lot. In a lot of situations, if they've got a lot of creatures, Gatekeeper's better because it's just like a chump blocker or even like brick walls, like 1/1s and stuff. Whereas Liliana just eats a 1/1 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and then goes away. Yeah, it's probably just I'm probably just gonna retire those other versions, like I said. This version also feels like it has the most play to it. Like there's always like when you put Lurrus to hand. It's ironically it feels the most skill intensive too. It feels like it has the most raw power level. It's also the most skill intensive. And the fact that it's like the cheapest is just kind of icing on the cake. Yeah. So anyway, oh yeah, I'm gonna apply this 5 fetch land concept to some of my mono red decks here, like the Gigantha Prowess deck. I'm probably gonna play 5 fetch lands, and with 11 lands, I have more than enough to get, but just basically increases the chances of juicing up Dragon Race Channeler. And yeah, and then of course this version that I'm still trying. This version very well might be subject to change, but I've been liking it quite a bit. Yeah, 7 fetchable lands, same like the other one. Of course, Blood Moon can also just yeah, these other decks, yeah, pretty standard stuff. So yeah, I mean, just adding 1 extra fetch land, I don't think necessarily like changes that much. But just thought I'd share. That's what I'm thinking. I might go back to not having these, but all right. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Yeah, take care, everybody, and maybe one day we'll get a trophy with this deck. All right.